I am so tired.
I'm in the light at the end of the tunnel. Paper stacks, yeah, I got them in the bundles. Harry Potter breaking bread with the muggles. They said I wouldn't make it, now they looking puzzled. They said I wouldn't take it, I done go and hustle. Get the bag, it ain't never getting fumbled. In the jack, but we came up from the bottom.
Hey guys, Kevin TCG, and I got decimated at the mock regional tournament. Can you guys see that? Let's maybe if I... Alright, so TableTop Village, they were doing a mock regional tournament for the Portland Regional. And of course I had to go because this is my first time going to a regional tournament. I have to be exposed and be prepared to all the different types of metas. And in my previous tournament video where I went to my first ever league tournament, it was definitely, for lack of better words, mollywopped there. And I'd say this time I was decimated. So Giovanni and I, we got up, or I picked him up from the ferry at like 7:20 in the morning. I woke up at 6, and we were so tired. We went to the grocery store, picked up some snacks. We weren't sure if this was going to be a whole thing without a lunch break or we'd have a lunch break, so we brought some snacks just in case, aka Cliff Bars. So when we got to the shop, or we were told it would be 6 rounds at about, I believe, 60 minutes each, or an hour. And my goodness, we were there for, well, we got there at 8:30 and ended around 4:30. We were there for basically a whole work day and still so tired. My first round was against a, I believe it was a Lost Box with a Roaring Moon in it. I also had Iron Hands. And it was the shop owner's son who ranked top 8 in last year's Worlds tournament. So I knew what I was gonna get myself into. And Coral's looking at me like, you did what?
That was your first round?
So, looking at my notes, I wrote down notes to kind of make sure, keep track of what I'm gonna say in the video and also improve on my own deck. So the first round was actually going pretty good. He was, building his bench, I was building my bench. I'm using my quote-unquote Roaring Miraidon deck. I had 3 more prize cards to get, and my Iron Hands was like 1 energy away from AMP very much to get 3 prize cards off his Roaring Moon or any other EX Pokemon. I was ready to strike. I had energy in my hand ready to go, and he used Kyogre to wipe my bench for 2 EX Pokemon, and he took all 4 prize cards in basically 1 move because he already took 2 from before, and that was game for round 1. So that kind of set the tone, and I was like, oh, alright, that's how we're gonna do it. Then round 2, I biffed it. I basically didn't pull much, and it ended really fast. But he was a good sport. Very, he taught me a lot in terms of what I can and can't do when playing the game. He's like, oh, you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do this, all that other stuff. I was 0-1 to start. Oh, good. Oh, my. I got clapped. Match number 2 was against a Palkia deck, and I was also facing another kid, and she was she just started playing, I believe, 2 months ago. And round 1, it was a Palkia Chien-Pao deck. I'm pretty sure it's a Chien-Pao deck. And round 1, I lost, and it was very close because again I had Iron Hands all set up, ready to go. My Roaring Moon, I think it was nowhere to be seen, or it was knocked out. And I did not have an answer to the Chien-Pao because he's weak to, I believe, Steel typing, and Electric typing is just normal damage. So she got me there, and then on the second round, I also folded. I was just bricking pull after pull, or from my active pile, just not getting any good cards, and I decided to say, you know what? you made a big mistake here. I acted like I acted like I was gonna do a big move because I put down. I think I put down like a squawkabilly like halfway through the match, and I said, "Okay, get ready for this." And then I said, "I fold," or "I scoop," and she was like, "What?" And I think I gave her the first win of the day because they match you up with the same record per person. So, kudos to her. I figured out I don't have an answer to Chin Pao for like a one-shot KO unless it's Roaring Moon.
0-2. 0-2.
Lost again. Match 3 was against Mew. Mew V, which with a bunch of Genesects. So, round 1, I actually won the first round, which is very awesome. He was not prepared to see a Roaring Moon in a Miraidon deck, and Miraidon kind of built up my bench, and Roaring Moon was my hero because he knocked out the VMAX Mew, and then he knocked out, which like threw everything off from his plans. So then he knocked out my Roaring Moon in retaliation, and then I came in, swooped it all up with Iron Hands for the win. And yeah, round 2, I had an awful hand. Sophie's eating in the background. I had an awful hand, and I lost that pretty quick. And then round 3, I also had a bad hand, but I also have to give credit to my opponent. He had a really good hand too, like all 3 rounds. And this one, he was off to a great start. And I had okay pulls after that, but I couldn't really do much.
0-3. It's pretty close.
Another loss for the column.
We're at halftime.
At TableTop Village. Did you eke out a win?
I did. Yep. 1-2.
Who'd you play against? Or what deck did you play against?
Mew VMAX Turbo Miraidon.
Who's this camera?
Yep. Official videographer for Kevin, TCG.
Match 4. This is where I get it. I was on a bye.
Alright, because I'm doing so great, they put me on a bye on the schedule. So I guess I'm 1-3 now. I guess I'll take it. His opponent is someone I just faced, so I was kind of dreading that.
Alright, second to last match, match 5. It was against Lost Box Garantina. And I've played the first Lost Box in the first round, or my first match, and that one had Roaring Moon and Iron Hands, and this one had Garantina. I'm like, okay, it's essentially the same cards. Not really, it's completely different. And I told my opponent, this is a Miraidon deck. It's not your traditional one, it has a trump card. And I set up my Iron Hands, and then I couldn't really get anyone else up, and then he started sweeping my entire team. And I didn't scoop early, mainly because I thought I had a chance, but he had boss's orders. And then second round, I brought Roaring Moon onto the bench. And he was like, oh, that's your trump card. And he also said, sorry, I'm gonna boss's orders that Roaring Moon back into the active spot. Because I had a Jirachi in the active. And then he won the game after that. So yeah, he built his bench. He was building his bench up pretty quickly. My bench was built up pretty quickly too, but I couldn't capitalize on that Garantina. I was knocking out his Comfies and his smaller Pokemon with what I could with my Iron Hands, but I couldn't quite get those last 2 or 3 cards.
Oh my god.
Another L. 1-4. We got another W.
And then the final round, match 6. Match 6 was against a Charizard deck. And in my last tournament video, I faced a Charizard deck and I lost pretty badly. We both had the same record at 1-4. And I got the pity win with the bye. Round 1 went by pretty quickly, mainly because he built up his Charizard so quickly and just one-shotted everyone and got all his prize cards. And then round 2, I said the same thing. It's like, check out my trump card. And I pulled out Roaring Moon, and I got pretty dang close. It wasn't until I knocked out his Charizard, and then he was on the ropes, and I had Iron Hand all ready to go. I was ready to scoop up those last 2 prize cards, and and then he got another Charizard, evolved his Charmander with the rare candy into Charizard, and then took away my Roaring Moon because he already had 200 damage to himself, and then it would have been a one-shot anyways. So I put Jirachi back up in the active, or Toad School, one of those 2, and I had Iron Hands ready to go, but that didn't matter because I didn't have much energy, and I thought if I could hold it out for 2 more turns, I could get this Charizard, but he just bosses ordered me again, or did a switch, or one of those, and brought back out my EX Pokemon and went for the win.
1 and 5. Lost to a Charizard again, but I came very close to both rounds. Giovanni's still playing his matches.
Yeah, that was an experience. So let's talk about what I learned, and I'm gonna go over my deck.
All right, final record: 1 and 5 for me. 2. Wait, because we have 6 rounds. 6 rounds. You got 2 wins. 2, 3, 1. That's not bad. Picked up Onslaught. So this is our first taste of what regionals would be. How was your overall experience?
Rough. Generators were not hitting. Lots of Miraidons. The first 2 matches were, mirror matches, Turbo Miraidon, and that sucked. So I just wasn't pulling, which is fine. I used up all my bad luck now. Regionals, just gonna hit every generator.
There you go. I wrote down notes on what I need to improve, but I think my deck is getting pretty close to putting up some fights, so I can squeak out with at least 1 win at regionals. That's the goal.
Okay, so I'm on my phone. I have my deck list here. I have 12 Pokemon, 32 trainers, and 16 energy. I know I'm not trying to necessarily be the meta tier Miraidon. I kind of just want to do my own thing. It's fun to have Roaring Moon on there, or Toad's Cruel, and even some other trainer cards, and people are like, what? What does that card do? Or that card does what? It's super fun just to see the reaction and kind of just have fun with it. So I have Mew EX, Roaring Moon, Toad's Cool, Toad's Cruel, Jirachi, Squawkabilly, Regieleki VMAX, Regieleki V, Miraidon EX, 2 of them, and 2 Iron Hands EX. As for the trainers, I have 2 Switches, 2 Rika, 4 Electric Generators, 3 Gita, 2 Boss's Orders, 3 Arvins, 2 Ultra Balls, 2 Nest Balls, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Force Seal Stone, Bill's Transfer, Snorlax Doll, which came in handy for the first round, now that I think about it, or the very first match. It stalled a little bit to save me from being knocked out. The Tactical Machine Turbo Energize, which is super handy and underutilized, I think. Because when I went, a lot of people said, I've never seen anyone use that in the matches. I'm like, yeah. Everyone sticks to the meta. I'm just going to try to eke out a little bit out of it. It's a good card, and I think we'll see it in rotation a lot more. Beach Court, Earthen Vessel, Pokegear 3.0, Iono, and Energy Retrieval. Did I say Town Store? I also have Town Store. I have 16 Energy, 4 Dark, and 12 Electric. So I'm looking to obviously get more energy onto my Pokemon faster. That's what Gita is for, and that is also what Electric Generator is for. I would use a combination of the Forest Seal Stone or the Town Store to look for tools, and that tool would be the Tactical Machine Energizer, Turbo Energizer. So I'm thinking about adding another one of those, and I'm probably going to remove my Toad's Cruel. Mainly because I've not been able to pull him that much. So the Toad's Cool and Toad's Cruel line, I'm going to take him out. Jirachi is fine to keep in, and he's good fodder. I would like to keep kind of one prize card award Pokemon, but there's only so much we can do and limited in the deck. So I'm also thinking about adding the Stormy Calamitous Mountain, or Calamitous Stormy Mountain, and that would be, I think, a great tech against Charizard and Mew VMAX, or any of those cards like Gardevoir that have 300 HP or more. Specifically because if it's a non-basic Pokemon, if it's not a non-basic water Pokemon and you attach an energy to it, you have to put, I believe, 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So if that Charizard uses that ability and it's putting up 3 of those energies on itself, it's gonna get 2, 4, 6, already 60 damage, and then I can roll on in with my Miraidon or whoever else and have my Regieleki to give 30 more boosted power to that and hopefully go for a one-shot KO. Yeah. Now, maybe I might take out Bill's transfer. It's come in handy here or there. Rika is actually pretty useful. I think I might need one more boss's orders. The Earthen Vessel, don't know if I need to add one more. I've come across it every time, and it's usually when I have it in my hand, I already have a couple of other energies, so I'm like, it's alright, because I already have 16 energy, it's quite a bit. And the reason why I have Turbo Energized is A, to make up for Flaffy, but B, is to also build up my Roaring Moon if he's on the bench. It's super helpful, and then you play Gita after it, so if you have like Jirachi or Regieleki with no retreat up on the active spot, because with Gita you can't attack after putting energy on, so you put that onto the Roaring Moon, or you build your Roaring Moon up, or you build your Iron Hands up, in basically one turn if you got all the cards right. Gonna tweak my deck a little bit because Portland Regionals, they're soon. It's next week as of this recording. I won't have a video out after Portland Regionals is done, like immediately after. I'll have a different video, but looking forward to it. We all got prize packs. I mean, for spending like 8 hours there, it's nice to know that we get prize packs. Okie doke. We got Mirage Gate, Roseanne's backup, a Gallade, trekking shoes, and an energy. Oh wait, we got one more? And another energy! If you guys are enjoying this content, please leave a like and comment below. Have you ever been to a regionals before? Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. My name is Kevin TCG, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.